fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. That's on the veteran guard, Alex Boone. From the gun, it's Palmer. He's got the hook out to Jerron Brown. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be a second down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. A first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Second down following the run. They go to Johnson again. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6. And here are the offensive starters for Arizona.
I could go on and on about Larry Fitzgerald and his numbers, which are considerable, and everyone knows that. But the thing I keep coming back to, he never quits seeking knowledge. Every year, he works with former NFL players who were great.
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Alec Ogletree coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Now Austin. Able to fight through one tackle and shedding his way forward. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. First carry for James Conner. And right away, he lost the football. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. On 3rd down, it's Conner, and he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. Over the middle, he hits Austin. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. And on 2nd and 10 now. Now Goff. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And that's a big collision. He's knocked backward as they will mark him down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. Now it's Brown. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And Zerline's kick is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Yeah, they'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They begin the drive with Johnson. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. From the shotgun, it's Palmer. Trying to drop one in, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, he'll force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now it's Palmer. Underneath for Johnson. How did he stay on his feet? 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Again, it's Johnson. Dances by him. And now running right through him. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 3rd and 1, it's Palmer. And this is caught on the left side, Jerron Brown. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And depending on the type of screen called, especially when you're throwing it with one of your wideouts, it's different blocking. Sometimes you get great blocking from the other wide receivers helping you. And how about sometimes getting it from the offensive linemen who sell it like a regular screen pass and then get out in front of the receiver and help him get downfield.
And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here. Brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to.
Palmer's hit, fumble. He loses the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game. If the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So 3 points is the outcome, but probably not what they're looking for given the drive that they were on.
Yeah, things were looking good. You had it 1st and goal, but then the offense sputters a bit, and they're forced to settle for a field goal.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A reminder later tonight, a game some folks have had circled on their calendars since the schedule came out in April. That's the Super Bowl rematch. Falcons, Charles, at Foxborough to take on the Patriots.
Super Bowl 51.5, anyone?
Then on Monday night, that's no slouch either. An NFC East battle between the Redskins and the Eagles. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down. That fits the bill.
Toss play, Connor, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick. Make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller, since the screen pass was available, whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. They worked very well there for a first down.
It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, we'll send you to Orlando and Larry Ridley as he'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. But no touchdown. These guys need to give Larry some touchdowns to talk about.
Things are too easy for him right now back in the studio. Come on, guys. Help the man out. Give him something to talk about.
Go off to Austin that time for an L.A. first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On second down, here's Goff. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll lead here to a third down. A shotgun snap for Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
So after the interception, here's Palmer. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. On second down, here's Palmer. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Let's get to it. These teams are out and ready to go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. To throw is Goff. That's caught by his rookie tight end. It's Gerald Everett. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 24 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Austin's got it left side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Down to the 25. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rush is just too off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
It's a gain of 3, and it gets in the first.
Haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. This is caught, and he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. 1st down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
They come out here in the eye. The play clock's running down.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd down is Goff. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Chandler Jones in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And he's on the heels of winning the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award. He had a pair of sacks in last week's game, Charles.
So much for adjusting, so much for game planning, right? You know that he had the 2 sacks last week. Why aren't you able to block him? Sometimes the superior athlete just wins.
Back to the NFL scoreboard for his third quarter in Indy. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Andrew Luck, 2 touchdown passes to lead the way. 3rd and long. It's Goff. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Gerald Everett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams are in for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Second and 10 now, and it's Palmer. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Strength throwing the football downfield has never been an issue for this big guy. I still remember the first time I met him. He was playing for USC, and when I got introduced to him, I thought I was meeting their starting tight end, not their starting quarterback.
Such a presence, Carson Palmer.
Very much so. He's had it ever since he entered campus there and still has it today.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Final minute now of the third quarter. On second down, Johnson uses the stiff arm. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
From midfield now, here's Palmer. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Quentin Coples coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time. Back now in Los Angeles. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. Here's Austin. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Time running out here on the play clock. On 3rd down. That's Connor. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Delayed game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The penalty on 1st down backs him up 5. It's now 1st down at 15. They'll try the air now with Goff. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
It's in the 4th quarter down in Miami. The Jets have taken the lead now over the Dolphins. Connor Cook with 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And it's 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Over the middle, Jerron Brown's got it. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 24 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
On 1st down, it's Palmer. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll throw on 1st down here with Palmer. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Palmer cool under pressure as he rallies his guys to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw. He's got the hook up to John Brown on the right side. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
He'll look to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. He's back to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 13-yard line. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. They'll look to throw. And Gresham has it left side. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Now Palmer. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Troy Nicholas in the final minute. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
This will be fielded at the 8. Oh, what a move. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation.
Sammy Watkins, he's going to go. The 20. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture? That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Andrew Luck, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll put it out to the 25. Getting set to go again, here's Carson Palmer heading back onto the field. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
It's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Nelson. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Here's Palmer. His throw incomplete.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
Now it's Palmer. This one complete to Gresham. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. The Cardinals on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Palmer to throw. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You never